Now let me bring one more point to your attention. Since yesterday we are hearing sedentary lifestyle diseases, and I believe all of you know what we need to change in our lifestyle. But why we are not able to do it? Because it involves changing the mind, rewiring the mind pattern, which is very difficult. Hatha Pradipta states, Rasabadhe Manabadhe Ina Siddhate Bhutali, which means that mind is like mercury, and if you are able to stabilize your mind, there is nothing impossible in this world to achieve. And therefore, yoga is only solution which can stabilize your mind and give you a total health. Now let's look at other problems, social unrest issues like crime against women, racism, then suicide cases, rising suicide cases. Now, if we look at root cause of this, it is because of ignorance, that is avidya, which give rise to worry, desire, and low tolerance level. Now, our yogic ethical principle, yam and niyam, guides us towards truthfulness, non-violence, and contentment, thus fostering a community into rooted into mutual respect and leading to social harmony. Then we have Karma Yoga too, which actually propagates or which encourages Seva Bhav, that is selfless service. Then there is Gyan Yoga, which is for self-discovery, to eradicate avidya, ignorance, by Shruti Yukti Anubhuti, that is reading our scriptures, meditating and reflecting. It actually strengthens our Vidyanmaya force, which helps to improve our judgment. Now, finally, let's look at environmental degradation, economical problems like inflation, unemployment, geopolitical tension, and all. And we might say this is side effect of globalization and maybe scarcity of resources. But if you look deep into the root cause is unmindful living. And our yogic practice and yoga encourages mindfulness and a connection with environment to lead a more sustainable life. So to summarize, to conclude, friends, I will say that if you look at all the problems, they revolve around unawareness, unconscious living of human beings. And that's why yoga, I would say, is a universal framework to give you mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical well-being. It is only way to convert today's disease care system into health care system. Thank you. Hello, I'm audible.
Sir, muted, we can't hear.
Online friends, whether this
सुनाई नहीं दे रहा, आवाज नहीं आ रही.
debate is audible to you?
No, we can't hear.
Hello?
Can you hear me? We can't hear. We can't hear you.
Shall I call Deep sir, ma'am?
You can hear my voice, no? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. But whether you are,
but we can't.
Whether you are
We can't hear the participant at all.
Okay.
We had heard Rekha Ubale. Now we are not able to hear this lady.
Wait for a moment.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, friends. My name is Lata. Hello, friends. My name is Lata. My roll number is M6. Today's debate statement is
yoga is the only solution for today's problems. So I am here to against that statement because only and today's problems. My friend now just say about the today's problems, and she said that root cause is the root cause to be cured by yoga. But let us discuss first about today's problems. Then in today's problem, first came climate change. This refers to the longer shift in changes in temperature and weather patterns. Since 1800s, human activities are the main driver of the climate change. Then under the climate change, due to this, there are sudden rise in sea level, then intense droughts, water scarcity. This comes under due to the climate change. And how this will help, yoga directly help in this? I agree that yoga can help to a certain extent to minimize the problems, health problems. But in sudden increase in the temperature and due to this, there is frequent cold suffered by every people. And then yoga in this condition, how yoga will directly affect this. Then can pollution due to when harmful things are added into the environment. There are three types of pollution: air, water, and land. Air pollution comes from cars, factories, and smoke. Then water pollution happens due to trash and chemicals are thrown into river and ocean. Then land pollution happens due to when people throw garbages on the ground. Due to all these, our environments get polluted and we are often get sick. Then how directly yoga will help in this manner? And then second major today's problem is unemployment. Unemployment, when there is no job, people are under jobless. So when the people is not having job and he is not even earn to feed his family and himself, then how he think about doing yoga and keep himself, how the nourished child will do yogasana and keep himself healthy. That's why I am against that only word is not the solution. But yes, I can accept. I also accept that yoga is yoga will help in certain extent, but not the only solution, because there are many problems in today's world. Likewise, poverty. There are many people under poverty line. They are nourishment. Malnutrition is there. The poverty leads to malnutrition. Then there is no food to eat. Then how they perform yogasana, that mayurasana and keep himself healthy and fit. And overall, all the I want to tell myself stories that how many of you know about Murbanda before coming to YBN? Because myself, I am doing yoga from last 10 to 15 years. But I don't know that during pranayama, Murbanda is required. Only YBN, in the YBN, I came to know that Murbanda is required during pranayama. Then I am doing yoga from 10-15 years. I thought that I am doing yoga and me fit. If I don't know standard yogasana or yoga, what is the yoga? Sorry, I thought I yoga पण बोलले म्हणजे अजून आपल्याला योगा आणि योग याच्यातलं पण अजून आपल्याला आता मी 5 महिन्यापासून इकडे आहे तरी आपल्याला बोलता येत नाहीये म्हणून आय कन्क्लूड दॅट आय एम टोटली अगेन्स्ट स्टेटमेंट दॅट योग इज द ओनली सोल्युशन फॉर टुडेज प्रॉब्लेम.
Good afternoon, teachers and my dear classmates. Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Good afternoon, teachers and my fellow classmates. Thank you, Rekha, for your sorry. Thank you for that input. Can you hear me now? Okay. I always wondered when we say the word yoga, what do really people look at it? And the moment you say you're doing yoga, people equate it with asanas. That's exactly what we just heard. We heard that we can't do asanas because of climate change, we can't do it, we can't do it because of poverty, we can't do it because of economic factors. So there's a whole lot of factors that is brought in only where yoga is equated to asanas. But is that what yoga is all about? Is yoga just asanas? Didn't we learn over here? The first thing that we learned is that the word yoga comes from the word yuj, which means a union of mind and body. So we can't just get down onto the mat and start doing our exercises or our bodily postures, just like you do it in the gym or any other place, unless your mind is stable. If you're not only stable, you have to have a calm, balanced mind before you sit on the mat and start doing your exercises. So yoga is not asanas. Let's get that first thing clear. And the statement today is the yoga is the solution for today's problems. I think that statement itself has already validated what has to be said about yoga, because yoga is the only solution for all the problems that is affecting mankind today. Let's start by saying, what does Patanjali Yoga Sutra say? The first line one of the slokas that says this yoga chitta nirodha. So there, the first point that is being made, it is all about the mind. It's all about your thought. It's about the modification of mind that is causing the problem. So look at what is happening in the modern world. All of us, we want, every one of us is geared towards materialism. We want to buy more, and the moment we buy something more, we covet something, the latest car. Okay, I bought it. The moment I bought it, my interest in that car will over. Now I'm looking at what else can I buy. So the modern world is fixed, and the problem of the modern world comes from materialism. That's one part of the story. The second part of the story is we are also affected by what's happening around us. People around us, if they, someone praises me, I'm very happy. And then someone rejects me, I'm sad. So our entire mental, the mental meter, emotional meter gets hit. So every minute, it's like you gave a remote to your friend or your neighbor, he or your friend. He said something, you're upset. He said something, you're happy. So your mind is not stable. That is why yoga is the only solution of today's problem. Because what does yoga focus upon? The aim of yoga is to unify the mind and body. I know there has been a lot of arguments today which said that we are not looking at universal consciousness. Okay, let's not look at it. Can we look at the mind and the body so that can we stable life here on this planet by then? Forget about where we are going to reach after we are gone. Okay, so how do you do it? Patanjali mentions this eightfold path. The first two points is yama and niyama. And see, asana comes third. You think Maharishi Patanjali didn't know that, generations later, when people thought of yoga, they would say asana. I'm sure even he knew about it, right? So he talks about yam and niyam as the first 2 points. And what does yam and niyam really focus upon? It focuses upon discipline of the self and discipline about how to live in society. And only after that he talks about asanas. So that is the reason why we need to understand yoga is not asana. Yoga is the union of the mind and body before you sit on the mat and start doing your exercises. Now, when it came to climate change, we spoke about employment problems. Really, let's flip this one. Are we really doing any exercises, any hobbies, any of our recreational activities, or anything to do with our mind and body because we are affected by what happens to the world? I don't think that's how it works, right? We do it because, in spite of what is happening in the world, we follow what we have to do, and we do it in the right manner. That is why yoga is the thing that we really need to do. Because what does yoga do? It tells you to set your attention. Now, Let's take this a little bit further. What is another definition of yoga? What does it focus on? Ahar, vihar, and nidra, which means you look at your diet, you look at your activity and sleep. And what is the major disease that is affecting the modern the younger generation in today's world? As my colleague Rekha said, it's PCOD, PCOS. Where does that come from? It comes from the fact that we have very poor eating habits. We live sedentary lives. We just click the button, we order our food, we eat it, we don't even bother to see whether it is healthy, whether it is over processed. We don't have the time to think that we can make healthy choices. Try and do yoga. This is a challenge. Try and do yoga. Have a heavy meal or even have a glass of water or have something and sit on the mat. You can't do it. So I conclude my conclusion to this argument is that yoga is the only solution, and that is why yoga is today, even today, we are debating about it. But there's no debate. What? Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. My name is Navneet Gulati and my roll number is N7. Okay, so thank you so much. It was really a great thing. We were looking inwards. I now wanted to focus on something outwards. Okay. Now, so majority of us over here are actually knowledge workers. That means we actually work on our laptops, right? So working on our laptops, increasing in screen time, and also browsing on, mobiles for a longer time, right? What it leads to what? It leads to disorders. Disorders like we have mental problems, which she highlighted very well. Okay, we have mental problems. Some of the disorders like we do have related to our eyes. Okay, related to our postures, right? So these all things are there. Now, why I'm saying that yoga is not only the solution to today's problem is because if my eyes power increases, okay, what I'm doing over here, going to the doctor and having spectacles, ma'am, you both are wearing spectacles. This is technology. Technology on your eyes, right? How yoga is the only solution there? No, it is not. That's why I disagree over here. The second most point which I wanted to highlight over here, looking outwards, okay, not inwards. Looking outwards is that if maybe I or someone else, met with an accident, okay, and we are actually, maybe I am bleeding badly. Now, where would I go? Will I sit in sadhana or do, yoga, asanas, or I will run to a doctor? So what you will do? Run to a doctor? Then, okay. So this is the second most point which I am highlighting over here. Third, hereditary diseases. Okay. Now hereditary diseases, I am beta thalassemia minor, but my sister is beta thalassemia major. Okay. So thalassemia is something would require, what it would require is blood transfusion. Will I say my sister, no, do one thing, do yoga, okay? And don't do blood transfusion. Her own body will turn into a poison for her. Can I say this to her? No, I cannot. Yes, I can definitely say that please practice yoga. It will help you out a lot, to improve your condition. But not that it is the only solution to do these things. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Now the third point I would like to highlight would be over here. Kids are born with hereditary diseases. Sometimes they are also born with diabetes. Right? Nowadays, you know these problems. These are nowadays problems. Right? So these kids, can we actually tell a kid to do yoga and say, this is the solution to your diabetes? Can we? No, we cannot. We cannot say that. So how yoga is the only solution then? Right? So it's not only the solution right now, what I understand. Also, the food we are being consuming right now. Okay, junk food, I understand. We all have that mindfulness, by junk food nahi khana chahiye, right? But the food like fruits, vegetables, milk nowadays we are eating, right? These are totally adulterated. Milk is adulterated, we are getting it, right? And also we are having processed food, okay, in the market available. So can yoga stop this food productions? Can? No, then how is the only solution over here? How can it be only solution? One more thing I wanted to highlight, that psychological disorders like bipolar disorder, I'm talking about serious psychological disorders, bipolar disorder, multiple personality disorder, these patients are dangerous for themselves as well. Okay, then they would actually need, medicine from psychiatrist, counselor, or maybe a psychologist. They would need a help. So this is where, you cannot just rely on yoga at that time. You would require people, the specialist, you will be required that. So if I'm concluding this session stating these all things about, yoga, which I think is not right, yoga is far away from being the only solution to the modern world. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ravi. My roll number is MT36, and I'm here to speak in favor of the topic, that is, yoga is the only solution for today's problem. Thank you for all your points. Firstly, we were brought to notice that specs is a technological aspect which is helping us view vision. This is where I would like to bring in the fact that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has rightly mentioned, he's denoted that yogam karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam, which means yoga is still in action. It helps us bring balance, mindfulness, and purpose in life. So this is where I'm bringing in the point of balance. Had we been practicing yoga on a regular basis, we would be balancing all our tridoshas, which are the root causes of all these problems. For that matter, if you see Savant sir, he's fit, healthy, and fine. He's aware of his surroundings, but he's still wearing specs. Given that fact, given that fact, given that fact, post which you also mentioned that there is this concept of ahar vihar, which is junk food that we would be consuming and all of that. When we all are practicing as a community, this is where we become mindful and aware of our actions, of our yam and niyam, wherein we understand that this is the wrong thing and this is the right thing. That differentiation becomes apt in us. So practices like the improper cultivation of crops, the geopolitical scenario, the climate cases which were also mentioned, would not be the case. For example, recently we have seen at a global level, Russia-Ukraine war, which has been happening, or the Iran war, and all of this. This is all behind a human greed. Had the practice of yoga had been cultivated, this all would have been far away from there. Not just that, yoga is not just about ailments, which was just mentioned. It's even our scriptures which kind of define that diseases are vyadi, which are caused by hereditary problems. So even if our ancient hereditary cycle had been clean and they were aware of all these yogic practice, we wouldn't be suffering all these kind of problems if we were aware of our actions at the same time. Secondly, adhyatmic. The mental and the stress disorders. When she quoted that, there was a concept of psychology that she brought in. yoga is something which actually brings in the awareness in you. It is something that adds years to your life and life to get years. At the same time, it offers you self-realization, which leads to your social upliftment. Hence, yoga is certainly the only solution to today's problem. Apart from that, yoga has the power of adjustment, and it purifies your nadi, that is nerves. It purifies your man, that is chitta, which my fellow mate had rightly pointed out. That it's our man which is not. It's so flickering, like any small item brings in, gets our attention, and we have totally lost our attention to it. Apart from that, it's not just the power of adjustment. It does this. It also clears out all the toxins, which is our mal. I would also put in the quote from the Hat Pratipika, which is 164. One who untiringly practices yoga is far able to achieve success, be him or her, be young, be old, deceased, or discreet. So that's the power of yoga. At the same time, when we are bringing in the hereditary aspect, just wanted to highlight another aspect. Schools are the best form, and the aspect wherein kids, if they are brought in yoga at the early stage, habits of our schools, like our schooling habits, never die. Even if we can relate to it, our school habits never die hard. So if that is inculcated in our curriculum, that also adds to it. Hence, I would conclude by saying that yoga is the only solution to today's problem.
Hello everyone, my name is Samiksha Shetty, N11, and I'm here to express my views on the topic yoga is the only solution to the modern problems. Like talking about modern problems, we all live in the 21st century, which is known for its technological advancement. Yeah, we all use technology, right? Like we have technology, and without technology, we even can't live. The first, in COVID pandemic, one of the most which saved us was medical intervention, which was a real solution. The second thing, to solve any renewable energy solutions, we have technology. The third thing, to get prepared for any future pandemic and response, we need technology. Also, in the ancient times and the earlier period, a couple without childless was used to be a taboo. But now we can have child through IVF, IoT, gift. This is what the technology is. Also, the man was talking about the specs, right? Anyone can have specs, and anyone cannot become and no one can be a servant, right? Also, the second point I want to talk about, like technology is good, technology is bad. Friends, your one press of your fingertip can turn your life upside down. This is what is cybercrime. And RBI is campaign regarding it, which is risk to our life. Like bank frauds, link frauds, right? And we all might go through, but we don't reveal it. The second thing is your SIM card, the phone SIM card which you use. If it gets misplaced, right, you comes in tense, like become tense. Why? Because your personal security is into threat. Can you protect you? Can you secure you? My lord, can you secure you? No, it cannot. How it can be? This is something which algorithms are used. Then my second point is national security, which needs communication, negotiation, legal framework. Can you secure you? No. You can calm the soldiers, but cannot protect the country. Talking about the big tension which is happening right now in our country is mental health. A various vast issue, right? Even children go through this, we don't reveal it. You can manage the stress, but it cannot prevent the depression, the ongoing suicide rate, not only with the children, but also the farmers. Can your yoga tell the farmers to stop suicide? No, it cannot. Also about one condition which is right now going, a pre-age puberty, early age puberty within girls and boys. That is happens because of chemical food hormonal imbalance. When your ahar vihar is adulterated, how you can follow the yoga. Also, what she was talking about yama niyam. We all have practiced the yoga, but how many of us follow daily yama niyam here? Have you guys practiced it? I know the answer. Talking about the second health conditions like non-communicable diseases, non-communicable disease like AIDS and HIV, where even the modern science has had a role to stop, not to stop it, but it can be a complement here, can be a prevention for it. Yoga has not made any use into it. Also, if you have a disease, you will take medicines or you will do yoga. This is the second step, sorry. The first step is to identify it. It is diagnostic part, where yoga doesn't have any role. Sir or ma'am, if you have a malaria, first you will go to a diagnostic person to get a test. Then you will practice yoga or take a medicine. So yoga can be a complementary, not a cure. Talking about the awareness, how many of us know about yoga before International Yoga Day? Have we practiced being an Indian? Yoga is something which is rooted in Indian philosophy, and we just know about yoga right now. Even YDN is situated in Vashi. How many people of Vashi come to YDN daily to practice yoga? Also about the authenticity. Without an authentic yoga practitioner, if you practice yoga, you might come into danger. Even yoga is inexpensive. Yoga is something which is related to urban areas, not the rural areas. As yoga is really not affordable for rural people. Also, I have not seen any yoga institution who provides Shuddhi Kriya kit. The second thing is how many people of India do yoga and how many yoga institutions we have in India. The number is very less. Also, how many people resonate with yoga? Talking about the Sundays, which is only one day we have holiday, right? So my last but not least is you cannot be the only solution in your life because you don't resonate it with. Thank you.
What a debate. Both the teams have put up their points, and I think our judges will need some time to prepare the results. So in the meantime, I will request all the participants here, if anybody is interested and want to give feedback about this excursion program. Anybody? Any feedback? Please.
Check. Namaste. I am Y31 Umesh Das. Before some days, we came to know that we will be proceeding for a yogic excursion, which will be like an educational excursion. I was excited, and I was feeling that yes, during school days, during college days, we used to go for that. And we, in this age, or we do not know anybody, we know, basically, we remain in online, we do not know, those who are coming offline, they may know, but हम सबको नहीं जानते थे. मन में कहीं ना कहीं एक द्विधा थी कि ये एक्सकर्शन क्या उस जैसे हो पाएगा जैसे हम स्कूल में जाते थे, मस्ती करते थे, मस्ती माइंड और मस्ती करते थे. और then up to Friday, day before, I was also in doubt कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं, किसी को हम नहीं जानते हैं. स्कूल में सब एक दूसरे को जानते थे, बट माइंड यू वहां पर नेहरू एलपी से बस में बैठने के बाद ऐसे लगा नहीं कि हम किसी को नहीं जानते. तो उसी मोमेंट से ही अंताक्षरी शुरू लगा कि हम बचपन में आ गए. हमें लगा कि हम बचपन में आ गए पूरे उसी मस्ती के मूड में आ गए. लगा कि अभी स्कूल में है, हम क्लास 7 में है, जा रहे हैं मस्ती करने. मैडम लोग हमारे साथ में है, गोइंग फॉर ए मार्वेलस ये एजुकेशनल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ये रही मस्ती की बात. बाकी रिगार्डिंग एजुकेशनल टेक अवेज, जब यहाँ पर हम आए, आई वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन our seminar is the first one. From that we learned a lot. उसके बाद जो डिबेट्स हुए, सेमिनार्स हुए, कल्चरल प्रोग्राम्स हुए, व्हाट ए स्पिरिट। कल जो कल्चरल प्रोग्राम 12 बजे तक चल रहा था, ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था कि बंद होगा। एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए उसके लिए। तो ये सभी से डिबेट से, सेमिनार से कितने बढ़िया लोगों ने डिबेट किया, सेमिनार में भी कितने फर्स्ट क्लास प्रेजेंटेशंस हुए। इसमें से मुझे तो बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, बहुत कुछ सीखने मिला। हम बहुत जिंदगी जिए हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पर बहुत कुछ सीखने मिला है। एंड द सिरेनिक एटमॉस्फियर, ये जो आश्रम वाला एटमॉस्फियर मिला, वो मुंबई के भीड़ भाड़ से निकलकर यू कैन से इसका कोई तोड़ नहीं है, जोड़ नहीं है। ठीक है, इस एक्सकर्शन से मुझे बहुत कुछ मिला है पिछले 2 दिन में। आई थिंक दीज डेज विल बी चेरिश्ड फॉरएवर। थैंक यू सो मच वाई हियर फॉर टेकिंग मी। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, Umesh. आप में से किसी और को फीडबैक देना है? तेजस, प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
So I'm Tejas, and I would like to say this excursion was a wonderful experience. I was having some problems back home, but coming here has really made me cheerful. And through various seminars and debates, I got to learn a lot of things. And teachers noticed that I wasn't in a very good state, and they reassured me and cheered me up. And I must say that in the meditation session in the morning, I was able to do much better than YTTC, where I usually eat my own food and come here. The food was also sattvic as per their environment. So it's a very good environment. And I got to know many more people which I wouldn't have come to know that easily in our regular YTTC. And I was supposed to be in the debate, but due to problems at home, I couldn't do that. But in turn, I joined a lot of cultural programs, impromptu, and it was a very good experience. So all in all, I would like to say it was a very wonderful and educational experience. And I hope I carry back some strength from this to deal with the situation at home. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I say a few words?
Anybody else?
स्मिता मैम,
वर्मा जी ऑनलाइन के लिए कुछ अरेंजमेंट कीजिए ना, वर्मा जी।
हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी।
He is walking around.
नमस्कार सगळ्यांना.
You have to call some teacher there. Wait.
बरं, एक्सकर्शन छान झालं. गेले 2-3 महिन्यापासून आपलं टेन्शन होतं की आपल्याला जायचंय काय करायचंय, आणि 15-20 दिवसापासून जे आपण प्रिपरेशन करत होतो सेमिनारसाठी, डिबेटसाठी, आणि जे कार्यक्रम झाले सगळे, डान्स झालं, गाणं झालं, सगळ्यासाठी आपण तयारी करत होतो. फायनली इथे आल्यानंतर आपण ते प्रेझेंट केल्यावर झालो बाबा एकदाचे मोकळे, अशी फिलिंग सगळ्यांना आली असेल. मला स्वतःला तर आली, म्हणून मी तुम्हाला सांगते पर्सनल वैयक्तिक माझं ओपिनियन. आणि शैक्षणिक जे आपल्याला इथे शिकायला मिळालं तो अनुभव तो खूपच छान होता. म्हणजे आपण 24 तास आपल्या जे गुरुजन आहेत त्यांच्यासोबत आपण व्यतीत केले इथे, हा एक मोठा एक्सपिरियन्स आपल्याला मिळाला. त्यांच्या लाईफस्टाईल मधून, त्यांच्या वागण्यातून, त्यांच्या बोलण्यातून तुम्हाला एक गोष्ट म्हणजे ऑब्झर्व करता आली असेल की आपण जेव्हा टीचर होऊ, योग टीचर आपण आता होणारच आहोत कमिंग इयर मध्ये, नेक्स्ट कमिंग इयर मध्ये, तेव्हा आपण आपली बॉडी लँग्वेज, आपलं बोलणं, आपलं वागणं, आपलं सात्विकता हे आपल्या स्वतःच्या बॉडी लँग्वेज मधून म्हणजे झळकलं पाहिजे. तर ह्या छोट्या छोट्या गोष्टी तुम्ही स्वतः ऑब्झर्व करा, आपल्या गुरुजनांकडून शिका काहीतरी, आणि हे 24 तास आपण त्यांच्याबरोबर राहून हे अनुभवलंय. दुसरी गोष्ट, इथलं जेवण खूपच छान होतं, चटपटीत आणि असं मस्त खायची ज्यांना आवडलं नसेल, पण असं सात्विक भोजन काय, म्हणजे आज आम्ही आहाराबद्दल बोललो आणि सगळ्यांना खूप सांगितलं की सात्विक आहार घ्या, तर हे आहे सात्विक आहार. सलाड खा आणि कच्च्या भाज्यांना जास्त शिजवलेल्या खा, आहारात त्याचा उपयोग करून घ्या. दुसरी गोष्ट सांगेल मी की वैयक्तिक इथे महिला वर्ग खूप जास्ती प्रमाणात आहे, तर सगळ्या महिलांनी आपल्यासाठी क्लॅप करा छान पैकी. तर मला सांगायचं की महिलांमध्ये खूप पोटेन्शियल आहे. आपण गृहिणी, आपण सर्व बाजूनी खूप परिपूर्ण आहोत. घर सांभाळत, आपलं ऑफिस सांभाळत आपण योगसाठी वेळ देतो, ही खूप मोठी बाब आहे आपल्यासाठी. तर नक्कीच तुमच्या कलेला वाव द्या. ज्यांना ज्या गोष्टीमध्ये आवड आहे त्या गोष्टी तुम्ही आवर्जून कराव्यात, अशी माझी स्वतःची तुम्हाला एक वैयक्तिक टिप्स असेल. मी स्वतः खूप छान करते, म्हणजे मला जे आवडतं ती माझी जोपासते मी. तर थँक्यू सो मच आणि सगळ्यांनाच थँक्यू कार्यक्रम तुम्ही अरेंज केल्याबद्दल. धन्यवाद.
आ जाओ.
हेलो, नमस्ते सबको. जब मैं इनॉग्रेशन में आई थी 48 YTC के, तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था पता नहीं क्या चल रहा है. सब स्टेज पे आ रहे हैं, फिर सब एक दूसरे को मतलब बहुत कोई भी स्टेज पे आ रहा था सर्टिफिकेट के लिए तो सब उसको अप्रिशिएट कर रहे थे. तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था पता नहीं हम सब इतने क्लोज हो पाएंगे क्या नहीं. अब तक जब भी मैं क्लासेस आती थी ट्यूसडे और थर्सडे, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था यार जाना पड़ेगा, अभी तो एनरोल कर दिया है. बट आज मुझे 2 दिन ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे मैं 20 दिन से यहाँ रह रही हूँ और मैं बहुत क्लोज हो गई हूँ. मैं काफी इमोशनल हूँ, तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मैं एक फैमिली की तरह रह रही हूँ सबके साथ और सब लोग बहुत क्लोज हैं. और सर मैम तो बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे हैं. जैसे मम्मी पापा ध्यान रखते हैं वैसे ये लोग ध्यान रखते हैं. और मैं ज्यादा बोलूंगी तो मैं रो पड़ूंगी. हाँ, क्योंकि मैं बहुत ज्यादा इमोशनल हूँ, हाथ भी कांप रहे हैं. बट ठीक है, जैसा भी है. 48 इनॉग्रेशन पे आए थे. छह महीने बाद 49 आ जाएगा, तब सब हमारा उस टाइम पे जब हम वापस अलग अलग हो जाएंगे, लाइक फिर हम सीट पे जाकर अपना सर्टिफिकेट वगैरह ले रहे होंगे. 49 का जब इनॉग्रेशन होगा, जब हम जा रहे होंगे, आई नो काफी लोग इमोशनल हो गए होंगे सुन के, बट मैं क्या करूं, मेरे से नहीं कंट्रोल होता है. बाकी जो भी है ठीक है, अच्छा है. कभी कभी लगता है लेसन है, प्रेजेंटेशन है, समर वेकेशन है, अभी तो ऐसे बीच में आ गए, ना छोड़ सकते हैं ना भाग सकते हैं. मैं सोच रही थी कि सावंत सर क्या बता रहे थे, लास्ट डेट क्या है बैकआउट का. उसके बाद इतना आपको मिल जाएगा पैसा, लेकिन मैंने बोला यार अभी तो पैसे लेके भी फायदा नहीं है. मेरे घर वालों को तो लग रहा है मैं नेशनल लेवल योग सीख रही हूँ. सीरियसली उनको लग रहा है मैं इंटरनेशनल परफॉर्म करने वाली हूँ कुछ तो. क्योंकि मेरे में काफी चेंजेस आ गए हैं. अगर मैं मधुशाला में आती हूँ सुबह, कई बार मैं इतनी मोटिवेटेड रहती हूँ, अगर मेरा सुबह वस्त्र नहीं होता है तो मैं घर जाके गैलरी में बैठ के वस्त्र करती हूँ. तो मेरे घर वाले बोलते हैं तू क्या खाती रहती है, अटक गया तो उनको निकालना भी नहीं आता. तो मतलब उनको मेरी टेंशन भी होती है कि मैं उल्टे सीधे काम, मतलब उनको उल्टा सीधा लगता है, बट वो काफी अच्छा है. बट सीरियसली मैं 6 महीने आगे चली गई हूँ, मैं सबको बहुत मिस करूंगी. और और मेरे जितने भी यहाँ पे सर मैडम है, मेरे सभी फेवरेट है, मुझे सब बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. लव यू ऑल. आप लोग हद से ज्यादा करते हो, कोई नहीं करता इतना किसी के लिए. अदरवाइज सब ये बोलते हैं कि तुम अपना अपना करो, देख लो कैसा क्या है. हाँ मतलब इन लोगों ने रूम अरेंजमेंट से लेके बस में बिठाने तक मैम मुझे बताया नहीं था, इसके लिए भी टाइम है. थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू.
यशु, आपसे एक ही बात कहूंगी मैं, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है दोस्त. अभी आपके पास बहुत टाइम है, अभी आप और बॉन्डिंग अच्छी होगी तब देखिएगा. समर कोर्स आने दीजिए आप. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स फॉर द वंडरफुल फीडबैक. नाउ अभी वक्त आ गया है, वो घड़ी आ गई है जिसका डिबेट के पार्टिसिपेंट बहुत देर से दिल थाम के इंतजार कर रहे हैं, और आप लोग भी. हमारे जजेस रेडी है. आई कॉल अपॉन संतोष बचेटी सर टू डिक्लेयर द रिजल्ट ऑफ डिबेट.
Debate was, as all you heard, very nice. Sometimes topic of the debate, most of the time, like because of the some words only, must, harmful, something like that. Those becomes a keyword. One side of the team, I'm not exploring. You also heard it. Use that very well. When it is only, then it becomes some limitations. Okay. So who is defending the topic? For them, it becomes a little bit difficult. At the same time, on the other side, being in the one of the prominent yoga institute, that too, since last 6 months, you are brainwashing. We are only brainwashing you. Yoga, 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 yoga. And after 6 months, telling you, talk against the yoga. It becomes a dilemma. Conflict आया है ना education psychology में. Now there is sometimes you are so convinced with the topic, you मतलब जाके एकदम फाड़ देते हो. Sometimes you are so convinced on the other side, what to do, and there is some solid point going on in mind, but teachers क्या सोचेंगे बोलूँगा तो stage पे जाके. So for that, अभी तो हो गया है debate. I will love to say, this is like one of the very senior teachers from Yoga Vidyaniketan used to say, everything is fair in love, war, and debate. So whatever you want to say it. Okay, forget about the topic and everything. Just look this activity as a learning thing. Topics are given in such a way because you have to dive deeply into the subject. And as I said, when it becomes yoga is the only solution for the today's problem, they can dissect the statement a little bit more. So in such a way that if at all topics looks not favorable for us, by the dissection you can turn it towards your way. I will not take much time. I will just mention some things. When almost both the parties, both the teams, bring the topic on the health level. They bring it a little bit down. When you want to defend yoga, you have to take it above the health. You did it up to some extent, I agree, but it can be more. When you are against it, you would add, I would love to hear some points. Of course, that was not the topic of your syllabus, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik and all. आ सकता था. Okay, that is a different thing. But still, both the parties fought so well. Amongst us, though we have not took much time, but amongst the judges, there was little bit debate was going on. क्या करे? Because again, one more thing. This activity is judged on many parameters, not only on the content, not only on the time management, not only the body language. Okay, it's a overall thing, and not only on the public audience interest also. Okay, these are the criteria, of course. When your body language is very good, your content is excellent, of course there will be the audience interest. This is understood, but sometimes that can be delusive also. Just for example, last year, one movie released, a blockbuster, Animal. The another movie released, Lapata Ladies. You also know what I want to say. So it is not always, if audience is very well interested in your topic, you're going well. So sometimes that can be delusive, but that is one of the parameters. But I'm not saying all these things as a debate to win or lose the debate. These are all learning things. Through this, we are actually trying to learn with you more about yoga, going more into the detail of the subject. And when you learn the subject and details, being a teacher, it's your duty to pass it on to the next generations because you are going to become a teacher. So unless and until you have that body language, your voice modulation, and whatever you're speaking, sometimes your content is so heavy, becomes so, मतलब होता है ना कभी कभी लेक्चर के सदा बहुत अच्छा, योर फेलो बैचमेट वाज एब्सेंट, आज का लेक्चर के सदा बहुत अच्छा था, क्या सिखाया पता नहीं. If that is the case, you are a very knowledgeable person, but I will say you are not a very good teacher because you are not passing the point. You may teaching only 2 points, दोनों पहुंच गए. You are teaching 10 points, एक भी नहीं पहुंचा. टीचर कौन अच्छा है, 2 ही पॉइंट सिखाने वाला या 10 सिखाने वाला? So through this activity, actually, this is all learning things. So anyway, we are ready with the results. Actually, there was a discussion, little bit, I will not say debate, but discussion going on because the margin was so close. In fact, almost scores were equal. So we are thinking what to do. So finally, we decided we'll give second rank for 2 people. Okay. So second prize goes to Namit Gulati and 7 was talking against the statement, and Sulekha, your roll number? Y28 Sulekha, she also got the second prize. And first prize, any guess? अभी 4 ही ऑप्शन है आपके पास. Second prize go to N11 Samiksha, correct? Thank you. Good.
Thank you, sir, for the fair judgment, and thanks all the participants. Sir, ये घुमाना है? ये अभी result इधर में डायस अभी उनको बुला के चलिए अभी अपने अगले पड़ाव की तरफ चलते हैं. अभी वो घड़ी आ गई जिसका इंतजार शायद आप सभी को होगा. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? सर्टिफिकेट. आपने जितनी एक्टिविटीज की हैं, आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया है, कहीं जीता है, कहीं हारा है, कोई तो हारा, कोई जीता है, तो आपको जो सर्टिफिकेट्स मिलेंगे जिसका आपको इंतजार है, अभी उसकी घड़ी आ गई है, तो दिल थाम के बैठिए. एंड फ्रेंड्स, among us there are 3 office bearers of YVN. As you must know, our vice chairman Shri Durgadas Sawant sir, I request sir on the stage. Our trustee, YVN trustee Neha Kerure ma'am. And joint secretary of YVN Pradeep Gholkar sir. I request sir to assume a position on the stage, please. Neha ma'am, please, I request you on the stage. And for certificate distribution, I request Hemangini Bansod ma'am's presence. Hemangini Bansod ma'am. Silence please. नहीं चाहिए सर्टिफिकेट किसी को भी? चलो ठीक है, नहीं देते, कैंसिल कर देते हैं, आगे बढ़ जाते हैं फिर। थोड़ा सा पेशेंस, थोड़ा सा इंतजार, थोड़ा सा धैर्य, तभी तो आएगा निखार। हिमांगिनी मैम। I call upon Hemangini ma'am. अभी अपने दिल की धड़कनों को थाम के रखिए। हिमांगिनी मैम इधर आइए, इधर आइए कैमरा के सामने।
Friends, good evening, friends. Over the last 2 days in our educational excursion, we witnessed highly knowledgeable and very knowledge-enriching debates and seminars. All of you must have put in very great efforts. We all witnessed the efforts and we thoroughly enjoyed also, isn't it? So now is the time to felicitate all of you, all the participants.